Hi, Ann.
Oh, awesome. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good.
Can hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. I'm a
Awesome.
little like congested.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's not. Hopefully, it's not COVID or anything. I just allergies or whatever. So
Right.
I pumped
And it's
up
so
my
hard to
volume.
tell. Yeah, it's so hard to tell too because it's going around like crazy. I just had it like 3 weeks ago or
Yeah,
something. I thought it
yeah,
was allergies at first.
yeah. No, it's crazy. It was really. I'm on Long Island, New York. So it was crazy here for like January. I would say
Oh
like
yeah,
just rampant, and I didn't get it, but I don't know. Hopefully, I don't have it right now.
same here. And I'm kind of, I didn't want to get it, but if I had to get it, it's right before Mardi Gras, so that was actually pretty good timing.
Right. Oh, so you're in New Orleans, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
New Orleans. Yeah, yeah. But it said New Orleans, right? That's really the right way to say it.
Kinda. I'm not from here originally,
Okay.
so I say New Orleans, but I hear some people do that just like mumble mumble New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How's the weather there?
It's pretty good. It's been a chilly off and on, but chilly here is, 50, 60 degrees.
Oh man. So it's like 20 here right now.
Oh,
And another thing too, last night I went out and I ran the 7-Eleven. You have 7-Elevens there?
no, but in Virginia we do, which is where
Okay.
I'm from. Yeah.
Sometimes I see 7-Eleven people like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I got my stuff, walked out to my car, and just didn't even see it at all. Black ice just slipped like a cartoon character, like a
Oh
banana
no.
peel. Like
Oh no.
I couldn't even control it. You know, when I'm sure you've fallen before,
Yeah.
it's almost like slow motion,
Yeah,
even though
exactly.
it's not. That's what it felt like, and I just like banged up my knees, my shins, my elbow.
Oh,
I had a bag of Doritos which exploded, but I think
oh
that bag of Doritos saved me a little bit. I really do.
God. I bet you're a
Um,
little sore today.
I'm very sore actually. After this, I have a live show, and then I'm going to the doctor.
Oh, good. Oh, man.
Oh man, so just want to I'm like between my head and my knees.
No kidding.
But you know what? Listen, I can't complain. I can't complain. I'm still alive, and I think that's all you can ask for these days.
Yeah, I'd say just getting by is pretty good.
Exactly, exactly. So Annalise Hastings, it's
Yes.
very nice to meet you. You also have a band. So Annalise Hastings and her revolving cast of characters, which I love the name. I love that name so much.
Thank you. I've had a lot of people tell me to change it, and I just say,
Oh,
"Oh, well, that's interesting. If you start a band, you can call it whatever you like."
yeah. I think it's a phenomenal name. And not only is it just like, it's not just a cool name, it actually is legit. Like you have a revolving cast of people, right?
Yeah, it's pretty solid now, but it's kind of an inside joke, honestly, because when we first started in college, first of all, like we musicians are kind of flaky by nature anyway, and then add like a bunch of like hungover college kids, like there's just no way. So we're constantly switching people.
Yeah.
And my group now is pretty solid and I love them dearly, but it's kind of like, remember how we couldn't keep anyone?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, I like that because not only, I mean, I know it's probably tough, being in that position of like, I wouldn't say you say, oh, you got to go, but things just fall apart on their own naturally, right? Things unfold on their own.
Absolutely.
So I think it's kind of cool music wise to have that because you're going to have those different elements and that different sound each time.
And that's exactly what it is. Every person who's joined has contributed something new and changed the song from like what I originally intended. I'd be like, wait, do that again. And then it's
Right.
then on the record, it's everyone who has joined has contributed a lot. So it's been cool to see how it has shaped these
Right.
little silly songs that I wrote by myself.
Right. Yeah. No. And you have a new album coming out
Mm-hmm.
on Unmasking a Confidence Trickster. It comes out February 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
So that should be next Friday.
Yes.
I love the title. Where did it come from?
So this feels super pretentious, but
No.
we at the beginning of all the lockdown stuff, my then roommate still best friend and manager, Berlin Arguello, we were reading a collection of Franz Kafka short stories to each other every night, like for something to do. And that was the title of one of them. And it's like about this guy who's just the narrator's walking around, and this like con man comes to try to like swindle him out of money. And the narrator's like, no, like I see what you're doing. I'm not going to fall for it, like blah, blah, blah. And so when we were reading it, we were like, this is a great album title. Like it really fits everything that this album is kind of about. It's a lot of relationship stuff. It gets a little political. It's just a lot of stuff about, and then like mental illness stuff. So it's a lot of me kind of being like, you know what, all y'all are con men, and I'm not going to let you swindle me anymore.
Sure. Sure. No,
people.
I don't think that's pretentious at all. I think it's really cool, actually. And it's a very cool title. Now, where did you grow up?
Where you said?
Yeah, where?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Roanoke, Virginia. Okay. Did you have a musical household?
No. My mom loves music, and her brothers and sisters were brothers and sister were very musical. And she really appreciates music, but she doesn't play. My dad can play like Every Rose Has Its Thorn on guitar, and that's about it, you know. But when I expressed interest in it, they were very supportive about getting me into like piano and violin lessons and making me practice and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I definitely encouraged it.
Okay, so about like what age were you at when you started doing that, like piano lessons and things?
I was 5 when I started piano lessons.
Wow.
And so I started violin when I think I was 8. So then a guitar I'm self-taught. But that's when around 13 is when I started playing guitar and also writing more seriously. That's the only reason I wanted to play guitar anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you're living in New Orleans. I'm gonna say that right.
Yeah.
And was country music always the goal, or did you dabble in other genres?
You know, I think it originally, short answer, yes. I think originally when I first started writing music, it was very, it was either kind of country, but I had like a little band in high school that we did bluegrass music where I was playing fiddle. We had an upright bass, a guitar, you know, and I'd play banjo and that sometimes too. So originally the goal was kind of like traditional string band folk thing, or just me doing solo stuff, very folky. But once I moved down here, it kind of, I grew up listening to a lot of like rock and other genres of music, but once I came down here and had the addition of the band, had all of the you know, I was going out, I was seeing more things, I was seeing more live music. Sure. It turned a little more rocky, so then it kind of settled into this mixture of this alt country thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say country is such a like broad term to use. You know, there's a lot of, you know, like you were saying, bluegrass strings. There's a lot of that stuff in there. So I wouldn't just define it as country. Alt country works, you know, but it's like growing up in New York, country wasn't a thing here, really, you know. Like unless you went like upstate to like the mountains, it just wasn't. You weren't hearing it on the radio, and if you did, it was like the top 10 kind of pop country that most country people don't even like.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Not really into it.
Yeah, and I'm not putting anything down. It is what it is. But for me, it was hard to get into the genre because of that, you know. So I was never really exposed to it. But now, especially doing this show, like I meet so many people in the Americana folk kind of, you know, genre, whatever you want to call it. And this shit is so good, you know. It's like pure.
It's
you know.
That's what I like about it too. Especially I grew up with a lot of the like Patsy Cline, Johnny Cash. Like I'm a huge Emmylou Harris and like Townes Van Zandt fan. It's just really unfiltered when it comes to the lyrical content and emotional content. And then also, I mean, if we're talking pop country, I will say it's like on the internet, the meme where it's like male pop country is like, oh, my truck, I'm drinking beer. And the female pop country is like, I'm going to kill you. And I do like that stuff.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, every song is like a dirt road, you know, but it's a guy, and then the girl is just like, I'm gonna fucking stab you.
Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome. So who are some of your biggest influences vocally?
Ooh,
I mean, I can hear like Dolly Parton, I can hear Janis Joplin, and I'm sure those are on your list, but
those definitely are. I would say Patsy Cline too. I love her voice. This isn't even that big of an artist, but there's a Virginia band, Aaron and the Wildfire, who, you know, they're doing their thing, gigging, but she's just this amazing singer. And so I've definitely also become a better singer just by like singing along to her songs in the car.
Sure.
So she's a big one for me. Yeah, I'd probably say those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pat Benatar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. She was
definitely.
I was like in the 4th grade pretending like singing into my hairbrush in the mirror, pretending to be Pat Benatar.
Definitely.
She's originally an opera singer, so her technique is something I aspire to.
Absolutely. My first girlfriend was her aunt was Pat Benatar.
No way.
And I never got to meet her because we didn't last all that long. But for the moment, it was cool. I was like, yeah, I'm dating, you know, Pat Benatar's, you know, niece.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I got to listen to the album because I'm special.
Yes,
because I do this little thing here, and Unmasking and Confidence Trickster. It's never boring at all. Like, it displays such a wide array of emotion and tone, lyrically and musically. But each track kind of weaves a tale on its own.
Thank you.
What would you say is? I mean, we spoke about it a little bit about the Franz Kafka short story, but what would you say is like the overall theme of the album?
So I think a lot of it, I don't want to say like self-discovery because that's not quite it, but a lot of it's coming from bad relationships or like me being bad in the relationship. Like, I'm not always a good person in these songs. So I wrote all these songs like in between the age of like 21 to 24. So like, I know for me that was a massive growing period.
Yeah.
So while a lot of that is me kind of figuring out what I want, who I am, how to deal with the less pleasant emotions. So I feel like that's kind of the general theme.
I mean, that's what I found coolest about it, actually, is that, you know, most albums have like this general theme, but this really, I don't want to say it doesn't. It obviously does. And maybe I'm saying this wrong, but like, it's almost like every song is its own thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I feel about it too. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too.
And I mean that in a good way. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if I said that right.
No, I appreciate it.
I personally dig that. I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? There was a something about like the image people create, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that's so prevalent nowadays because of social media and everything. Like, once you get to a certain age, you start realize like almost everything is bullshit.
Yeah, everyone, right? Like, now even people have their like branding, you know? And so that's, I mean, and not even like for a professional way, but I'm thinking of like, again, some of the people that I wrote about in these songs, I was like smitten with them, or like, and so there were all these like crashing down moments where it's like, what do you mean? That's not who I thought you were, kind of thing. It's like, you have your personal branding for you as a person. Right. It was redundant, but yeah, like that's actually a lot of where the unmasking thing comes from too. I'm chipping away that brand of yours.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. And, you know, I think that goes with anything you do in life, you know, like even this, like something like this, like when I started doing this, I was like looking at other things to not necessarily copy them, but be like, is this how it's supposed to be? Right.
Absolutely.
But to be honest with you, I don't listen to podcasts. I don't know anything about them. I don't think I've ever seen a full podcast in my life.
Well, that's perfect. You're doing what's authentic to you.
Exactly. I wanted it to just be me. And I think at first I tried to be something else, try to have a gimmick or try to portray this different image. But I realized it works better to just be me,
Absolutely.
and it's so much more organic. And I think if you translate that to music, you get what you made. And that is amazing.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
No, seriously.
I have been trying to just be really honest with all of these, and it gets kind of embarrassing sometimes when I'm like playing in front of my friends and I'm like, ooh, we haven't actually talked about any of this, but
Right. Well, you know what? I always think about that. I always think about when like comedians are on stage and they're talking about their family or they're talking about, friends and things like that. Like, is this joke, made to be funny, like, or did this really happen?
Right.
And what does that other person think?
Right. I think about that a lot.
Yeah. And the same thing with music, like, but be legit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's really all I ask for in any kind of art, is that it comes from a real place, right?
Yeah. Same.
So like I said, not only are the lyrics and the tone ever changing, but the music transcends and breathes on its own life as well. Would you say that having now on this album in particular, did you have the same cast of characters?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
When in the early writing process, because some of these songs are like a few years old, we had different band members, but we recorded the whole instrumental part in like one day.
Wow.
So it was definitely all the same people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the feeling of it. It's got like this kind of haze, this kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
No, that's what we were going for.
Yeah, it's almost like psychedelic in a way.
Yeah.
Where you can just kind of takes you away,
Yes, that's so what we were going for.
Well, it definitely works, especially on like some of my favorite tracks, definitely Missouri. It's like, it's almost 7 minutes. It's got that like hazy guitar. I say haze, you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. No, I think that's a good
word. Dolly-esque kind of vocals on that one. But my favorite, I think, and I hate to have favorites because the whole thing is good, but if I have to, gun to my head, Sarah Jane is awesome.
Thank you.
That one is fucking awesome. I just love the driving force of it.
Thank you. It's I was pretty pissed. I'll tell you that much when I was writing it.
And you can feel that, and that's what's so cool about it. It's definitely got, it's beyond country. It's like, it's almost like punk country. It's like this, like,
Thank you.
It's really cool. Very cool.
Oh,
and your vocals on that kind of remind me of like Janis Joplin.
Thank you. That's so wow. Thank you.
I mean, when I do these, when I like, think of questions or learn about somebody, I like surround myself in it, so I listen to it over and over and over and over. So I listen to it all morning, and I really do love it. I can't wait till this comes out. Is it going to come out digitally, or are you going to have a vinyl release?
No, just digitally.
Okay.
Yeah. Vinyl's expensive.
I know. I want to hear it on vinyl though.
Oh man. I think eventually we're talking about maybe trying to do that, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I know. There is this, like, you can not pre-order. You can buy a certain amount of records. Like, let's say you want to make 100, let's just say.
Right.
You can do pre-orders with everybody. They order them and they're printed on demand.
That's awesome.
So no money out of your pocket, no risk.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah. I'll give you a few names. There's a couple of them.
Okay.
I forget. I'll look it up. I'll send you the names. I'll send you the websites.
Awesome.
They'll usually have a minimum, but if you reach that minimum, and I think it might be 100, then those get made and they get sent out.
That's awesome.
Now, I don't know if you self-release or label, but if you self-release, I mean, you get to actually keep the money for your music.
No, exactly. Oh yeah, no, we are on time. We're doing this.
Yeah. No, labels, I mean, unless you're like, you want to be a top 10, manufactured, whatever, labels suck for the smaller artists because they don't make any money.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
kind of something we've been talking about is it's like if a few years down the road it made sense to, like, we would consider it, but right now the way that, like, we're not big enough where we would be able to have terms that benefit us. So it's like, let's just keep doing this ourselves what we can.
Absolutely. Even like streaming music, I mean,
yeah,
I talk to a lot of artists on here and they're like, yeah, we don't really get anything from Apple Music or Spotify. I mean, they're like, yeah, you get a check for like, 25 cents. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like you could have saved the paper, honestly.
Right. One of my main like things I like to focus on the show is to kind of bring back the days of paying for music and like supporting independent artists. I think it's a really important thing that has just been kind of, it's almost been forgotten about.
Absolutely. And
like,
something I will say about that is not like COVID ended, but like once things were kind of starting to creep back and we were able to start having shows again, I noticed that people were, just over the moon to be going and seeing live music. So there was this resurgence of supporting local music. Like people would be willing to pay a cover and then also buy a CD and then like tip us extra because that resurgence of support was really cool. And it wasn't for the big names, it was like the little local guys like me.
Absolutely. And that's bands make money touring, right?
Exactly.
Merchandise and stuff like that. But in these uncertain times, you don't know what's next, right? It's like, okay, it seems to have died down, but what's going to happen next? What's the next variant? What's the next this or that?
No kidding.
And then like here, it was crazy for a while and now it's lax. Like you can go into a store without a mask on. You can go to a concert. You can go to this and go to that. But then it went away like that, but right now it's lax, but who knows what's going to happen?
I know.
So for bands, it's like the way to go is like physical media that you can sell on your own. And, the online concert thing, I would absolutely support a band to do an online thing. But in all reality, the fans miss being there.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like being at a live show.
No.
So with that being said,
go
ahead.
Oh, and we did a couple of the like virtual show things and like they were fine, but it was also weird because it was like we'd finish a song and it was just like
crickets.
Okay, next one.
Yeah. You need the cheerleaders,
Yeah, right.
It's just
I want to yell at someone in the audience and like make direct eye contact with them.
Right. It was like I don't really watch sports, but I do know when COVID really hit the US, they still had sporting events, but there was nobody in the crowds, and it was just. I think it was the first time I actually started to watch sports. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like,
so weird.
How about like, don't do this? Cause it doesn't work. Like,
I know.
There's nobody there.
No, I know. I don't know if this is all games. I think for the Saints down here, they were like playing recorded crowd noise.
Yes. And there's like cardboard people in the stands.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad.
It is. But
necessary, but
yeah. Would you say there was any silver lining that came out of COVID with you as far as music goes?
Yeah. I think, first of all, it kind of gave me, I had a really hard time writing for like that. I was, so, collecting my thoughts.
That's all good. Take your time.
Yeah. I was working at a restaurant. And so when it really hit in March of 2020, I was like, all right, I'm not going to like stay here at this restaurant and then go back to my teeny tiny house and not be able to do anything. My parents have a farm in Virginia. Me and my best friend I was talking about, we just booked it up to Virginia, and we're on the farm for 2.5 months. But having that time, even though it was kind of hard to write and stuff, because I wasn't doing anything. I was, helping my dad do some yard work and stuff, and we made a lot of cool food, but I wouldn't really do anything. So it was kind of hard to write. But then I had like a reset moment where I was able to like kind of get myself together. And then I was writing pretty frequently and feeling good about what I was coming out with. And then also when I came back to New Orleans, I applied to a music school to be a teacher, because I was just like, okay, if I can't gig, I need to do something with music. And I've been doing that for a little over a year now, like probably 1.5 years, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the best job I've ever had, and I never would have done that if I hadn't been able to gig.
Right. Oh, that's great. It's cool to be able to stay in your field, of interest, and actually make money doing it, Yeah.
I know. I was like, what?
Consistent money, Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So where can everyone find you online? Like, I mean, do you have a website?
We're working on it. But we do have Instagram, we have Facebook. I think that's it. I don't do the Twitter, but but yeah, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Then of course, like Spotify, all the YouTube. Because we also just put out a music video for one of the songs that is now released as a single, but it's going to be on the album. It's called Jack Kerouac, and we just put out the music video for that.
Yes.
On Friday. So that's on YouTube too.
So some fun questions. Yeah. What are you listening to now? Like, what's on your record player? What's in the CD player in your car?
Ooh. So I love this band, Combo Chimbita. If you've heard of them?
No.
They're cool. They're like they're out of New York, but they're like a first generation Colombian psych rock band.
Oh wow.
And they're so cool. It has a lot of like the Latin American musical influences, but it's heavy. It's really, really cool. And her voice is insane. She's like shrieking, and oh my god, so good. Been listening. They put out a new album recently that I've been really into. I'm also constantly listening to this band Ohm out of Chicago.
Okay.
They're like a duo. I mean, they have some other band members, but it's really these two women who do like noisy psych rock stuff and like harmonies. They're really cool.
Oh, that's cool. So you're into like you're into that kind of, you like the Mars Volta and things like that? I
don't know them.
You don't know the Mars Volta? Okay. Check out the Mars Volta. You're gonna really dig them. It's like cool. Psychedelic, progressive.
Cool.
They've been around for a while. What was the first name that you said? Because I like that kind of stuff too. I want to check it out.
Combo Chimbita.
I'm gonna try to spell that.
I'll tell you. COMBO.
Okay.
Chimbita, CHIMBITA.
Oh, okay. You know what? I wasn't too far off. I'm gonna check that out for sure. And check out the Mars Volta, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
Oh, you know what? I skipped the part here.
Cool.
I love the album art.
Oh, thank you.
Like the clay and the like tiny furniture and stuff. I love that stuff. I do cover art myself. Like,
oh, cool.
It's like my dream. I hand paint. So I just did one. Did you ever hear of Pink Nasty? She's from Austin, Texas. She's like a folk.
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, you might. She's kind of unknown because she's like, she self-releases her stuff, but she like doesn't put it up online. She's really good. She's actually really amazing. I had an interview with her, and I was like, let me do she's got a new album coming out. I'm like, let me do the cover art. So I did one, and she was like blown away by it just for a single. So now I landed the gig of doing the whole thing. I'm doing the whole.
That's awesome.
I am so psyched. And I'll send it to you. Check it out. And in the future, if you ever need anything, I would love to do it. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, right now, I'm just doing it for free because I want to.
Yeah.
I want to do it. And hopefully one day, I don't know, somebody with a lot of money is like, oh, I love your art. I don't like to charge independent artists. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I have to tell you too, so my mom is a painter too. So I love the grind and the, all the work that goes into one painting. It takes so much longer than it does for me to like write a song. It's just, it's incredible what y'all visual artists do. It's so cool.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I do graphic design, which
so my mom does too.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, honestly, for me, it's fairly easy,
Mm-hmm.
like I can just sit there and just make my little lines in the computer.
Right.
But painting, you really put a lot of heart into, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of, it's just you and a paintbrush, you know what I mean? There's no tricks. There's no filters, nothing. So when I do make something like that, it comes out amazing, to me, you know what I mean? However, I'm not a realistic painter. Like if I paint a person, it may look like the person, but it really doesn't look like a person.
That's cool.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, that's really cool. No, I love that.
Yeah. So just keep me in mind.
That's for sure.
I can even paint you something just for the hell of it and send it to you.
That'd be awesome.
I love doing stuff like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Back to my fun questions here.
Yeah.
Last show you binge watched. If you do. If you watch.
Yeah. I'm watching Letterkenny right now.
Okay.
Have you watched that?
I know of it, but I've never seen it. I want to. It's one of those. It's on my list.
It's really funny. And we're also watching the Righteous Gemstones because that's coming out every Sunday.
Okay, that is my favorite show of like all time. It's
so good.
Are you caught up?
Yeah.
You watched like this last one? Okay.
Yeah.
It's the best show ever. It's just so ridiculous that those people were born to play those roles.
No kidding.
The sister is unreal. It's unreal.
So it's so crazy. Like it's so funny and ridiculous, but then all of a sudden, like really dramatic, wild shit's happening. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? Yeah.
That's what I like about it so much is that you don't know what's going to happen next. There's no way to figure it out. There's no formula.
No.
It's just, and it still works. A lot of people say like the most successful stuff is just this particular formula. This works like this, and this is how it should end. And everyone's going to love it. They prove you wrong with stuff like that, where it's just, it's almost like they took a bunch of ideas and threw it at the wall.
Yeah.
And it just make an episode and it actually works. It's crazy.
It's fantastic.
It really is. What was the other one we were watching that was so good? I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's just ridiculous, like funny. I can't think of it. Damn it. But the other one, Kilkenny, right?
Letterkenny. Yeah.
Letterkenny. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I'm thinking of South Park. Oh my God,
yeah.
That's on Hulu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta watch that one. Everyone keeps telling me about it. And is it on for long? Has it been on for a long time? Is a lot of episodes?
Yeah, there's like 9 seasons. I'd seen the first 4 seasons like a million times, but now I'm finally to a point that I haven't seen yet.
Right.
But no, it's really funny, and there's short episodes too, so it's like kind of nice.
Okay, I like
a huge serious show.
I know, I like that. Like sometimes shows come out and it's like 24 episodes. I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen.
No.
An hour each. I don't have time for that.
No, are you kidding me?
Just give me like 10, 15-minute episodes and I'm all set.
Yeah.
Pet peeve.
Oh God. I'm like filtering through it. I'm
you don't have to filter anything here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which ones are the worst. Not using adverbs well, here's really the one that gets me when people mix up like number and amount, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like the number of people that showed up to the show, or like, the amount of people. I'm like, it's not an amount. If you can count it, it's number, like that.
Okay. Yes.
That drives me insane.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear that one.
Yeah.
Like their.
Yeah, exactly.
There. Yeah,
Yeah,
those.
there.
There's nothing worse than like when I see like a political meme online, no matter what side it's on, with incorrect spelling.
Yeah, you
Like,
lost
dude,
all credibility.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's 6 words. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you
Totally.
need an editor to write a sentence, you shouldn't be writing memes.
No.
I can't stand that. And if you're not sure, check it. You know, we have this thing called the internet. Just
It's
check it
so
out.
easy. So easy.
I
So
am a
easy.
grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
I correct everybody all the time, and they get really pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like,
know,
but I'm making you a
totally.
better person.
Yeah. Well, I did this the other day. I forget what I said that was wrong, but the grammar was wrong. And I immediately was just like, and my boyfriend just looked at me and was like, oh, I was going to jump all over you on
Yep.
that one.
Yep.
No.
And listen, I've made mistakes too, speaking or writing, and it happens.
Right.
But I mean, there's been times where I'll go back and like, even on this show, and I'll put the real word that I was supposed to say underneath.
Yeah. I love that.
I'm always correcting myself, so I have the right to correct you if you're wrong.
Absolutely.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Woo!
I
I don't
know.
know. I'd like a dog in 5 years.
What's that?
I'd love to have a dog.
Okay. That's good goal. Good goal.
Yeah. I mean, so ideally, I would love to be touring and doing like performing music full time.
Sure.
That would obviously, like, that's my life 5-year plan goal. I would love to be doing that.
Mhm.
I've also, I've been saying this for years now too. I feel like my goal musically, just in general, is to be like on a festival lineup. I'm kind of like in the middle, where it's like I'm not a headliner. I know where I'm at. I know that's not happening. You know, like,
Yeah.
but you can still read the name. I'd be thrilled with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
either that, or so yeah. There's a couple things. Either like just full time touring, playing. That's recording. Like that's my life. That would be 5-year goal. Or otherwise, go get my master's in music education and be like a full-time teacher.
There you go. It's always good to have backup, you know.
Yeah.
But
always gonna be playing music though.
But to be honest with you, this new album, I don't think you need a backup. I think it's really, really special. I think it's really good.
Thank you so
much. And I hope that it gets out there. I hope it gets to the ears it's supposed to get to. And like I said, I'll send you those links for the vinyl and stuff like that, you know.
If we do that, I'll send you one, you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, and I'll send you money. But I appreciate it. But no, and if you're ever on tour or in the New York area, let me know. I'd love to come see you guys, you know.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I definitely will.
What's the best podcast you've ever been on?
This one.
I mean, I set that up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What if I was like, actually, this one time I was, you know, that'd be so rude.
Oh my God. No, I think I asked. Yes, I did. I asked somebody once and they just didn't get it. I was like, what's your favorite podcast? And they were like, oh, this one with, and I'm like, no. You're supposed to say
this one.
It's just a cute, like, set up fun question. It's not
right. I
don't care about what podcast you listen to. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your like listener base usually is, but we are having an album release show, like house party kind of thing on the 25th.
Oh,
so
cool.
Like, if anyone who's from New Orleans or is going to be here for Mardi Gras, because it's going to be like in the midst of Mardi Gras, right after one of the parades, we're having the show. So if anyone wants to come, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. We'll give you the address. That'd
be so cool if someone listened to this and came. So
that'd be really cool.
Even if it's one person.
I mean, that would be dope. That'd be awesome.
That's my 1 week goal right there. I'm going to make that happen.
Yeah.
You know what, guys, just
I'll message you.
Well, I was going to say, go to Instagram and just type in Elise Hastings.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that worked for me.
Perfect.
I really appreciate you coming on here.
I appreciate you having me. This was a lot of fun.
Of course. Thank you. And I really wish you the best of luck with everything. I hope this album goes where it should go, because it's really, really, really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'll send you some of my art, and I'll send you some links.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much. Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your, I know it's chilly for you over there, but you're lucky. Enjoy that weather.
Yeah, it's sunny. Yeah.
All right, Ann.
Stay warm.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.